I didn't expect the sound of slot machines to mix with the memory of my mother's voice. It was 10 p.m. in Las Vegas, and my phone screen glowed with a single message that knocked the air from my lungs. It's spreading faster than they thought. The doctors say it's time to prepare. I just stared at it. My mom, my quiet, gentle mom, who'd raised me alone after my dad walked out, who still called me my boy even in her 60s, was dying. And beside me, my wife Tiffany was laughing. Laughing so loud the people at the next table turned to look. She was in her element, hair curled, drink in hand, wearing the red dress she'd bought for photos. When I didn't laugh along, she rolled her eyes. "What's wrong now?" "My mom's doctor texted," I managed to say. My voice cracked. "It's worse than we thought." She sipped her drink without even pretending to care. "You're kidding. You're going to mope here." "Tiff, my mom, has been sick for months," she interrupted, waving her manicured hand like she was brushing away dust. "We came here to get a break, remember? Don't ruin the trip with sad stuff." Her words hit harder than any diagnosis. We'd been married 6 years. At first, Tiffany made me feel like I'd won the jackpot. Beautiful, confident, spontaneous. But over time, I realized spontaneity came with strings. Every surprise trip, every expensive dinner, every shopping spree. It all came from my pocket. I worked overtime at the accounting firm while she posted #couplegoals pictures online. Still, I loved her. Foolishly, deeply. But that night in Vegas, as neon lights blurred through my tears, something inside me shifted. "I need to fly home," I said quietly. Tiffany slammed her drink down, splashing red across the white tablecloth. "Are you serious? We're only here 2 more nights. You can't just leave. My mom might not make it that long." Her lip curled. "God, you're so dramatic." She stood, grabbed her purse and hissed, "You always find a way to make everything about you." Then she walked away, her heels clicking like gunshots on the marble floor. I went up to the hotel room, locked myself in the bathroom and called my sister Claire. She answered in tears. "She's asking for you, Daniel," she said between sobs. "She keeps saying your name." "I'll book the next flight," I whispered. Through the thin bathroom door, I heard laughter, Tiffany's laughter, and a man's voice. I froze. It wasn't a movie or TV. The sound was too real, too close. Slowly, I opened the door. The lights were dim, the curtains drawn. I saw shadows, 2 bodies on the balcony. She was smoking, leaning in close to a man in a suit. His hand rested on her lower back. My first thought wasn't even anger. It was disbelief. Not now. Not when my mother is dying. I stepped closer. She turned startled, then smirked. "Oh, don't look so heartbroken," she said, flicking ash over the railing. "It's just business. He's a promoter." The man nodded awkwardly and muttered something about catching up later before leaving. But the way she looked at him, the same way she used to look at me, told me everything I needed to know. That night, while I packed my suitcase, Tiffany lounged on the bed scrolling through her phone. "You're really leaving?" she asked, not even glancing up. "I told you. My mom's dying." "Yeah, but Vegas, Daniel. You can't just walk out on a trip we paid for. It's selfish." I stared at her, numb. "Selfish?" She finally looked at me then, her expression sharp. "Yes. You've been miserable all week, killing the mood. I'm supposed to be relaxing, not comforting you every 5 minutes." Something in me snapped. "Tiffany," I said quietly, "my mother gave everything for me. She worked double shifts so I could go to college. She never complained, never asked for anything. And you can't even pretend to care." She rolled her eyes. "Stop crying about your mom's cancer, Daniel. You're ruining my Vegas trip." For a second, the world went silent. The hum of the air conditioner, the city noise below, the flashing lights outside, all vanished. Then I zipped my suitcase, looked her dead in the eyes and said, "You're right. I am ruining it." And I walked out. At the airport, I turned off my phone. I couldn't deal with her messages, her excuses. I just wanted to get home. When I finally reached the hospital, my mother was sleeping. Claire sat beside her, holding her hand. "She waited for you," she whispered. I broke down completely. That night, I sat by my mother's bed, holding her frail hand, whispering apologies for every time I'd chosen Tiffany over her. My mom passed away 3 days later. "Tiffany didn't show up to the funeral," she texted. Flights were too expensive. Sorry. I'll light a candle or something. That was the moment I stopped being her husband in my heart. 2 weeks later, while going through our shared bank account, I noticed thousands missing. Hotel charges, jewelry, private event bookings. All during the Vegas trip. I dug deeper. A pattern emerged: spa retreats in Miami, business dinners in LA. Every time I'd been working late or visiting my mom, she'd been spending. And not alone. Finally, I found the proof. A receipt for a $2,800 dinner for two at the Mirage Lounge. Dated the same night I'd gotten my mom's terminal update. The signature wasn't even hers. It was his. The same man from the balcony. My hands trembled as I stared at the paper. But then something strange happened. The sadness drained away, replaced by a cold, steady calm. If she could gamble with my love, I could gamble with her lies. Tiffany still thought I was grieving and too broken to fight back. She didn't know I'd copied every financial record, every text, every receipt. She didn't know I'd met with a lawyer. When I finally texted her, "Come home. We need to talk," she replied instantly, "Finally. I missed you. Can't wait to see you." When she arrived, she strutted in like she owned the place, designer bag on her shoulder, sunglasses hiding her hangover eyes. "Wow," she said, looking around the house. "You actually cleaned up. Guess grief motivates you." I handed her a folder. "Here's what motivated me," I said. She opened it, frowned. "What's this?" "Proof," I said simply. "Receipts, transfers, and hotel bookings. All paid for with my money while you were busy not cheating." Her smirk faltered. "You went through my stuff?" "I went through our joint account," I corrected. "And now it's no longer joint. I've frozen it." She crossed her arms. "You can't just." "I also spoke to my lawyer. The house, the car, the investments, they're all in my name. You leave tonight with whatever fits in your purse." Her jaw dropped. "You wouldn't dare." I met her eyes. "You told me I was ruining your Vegas trip. Consider this me making it up to you. You can have a one-way ticket back without me." For once, Tiffany didn't have a comeback. She just stared at me, her face pale, her eyes darting like a cornered animal. "Daniel," she said softly, suddenly trying to sound gentle, "you're just emotional. You'll regret this." I shook my head. "I already regretted loving you." Then I opened the door and pointed outside. She left that night. I heard from a friend later that she tried to move in with her Vegas business partner. It didn't last. I wish I could say I felt vindicated. But mostly I felt empty. Revenge doesn't heal you. It just gives your pain a purpose. Still, I found peace in small things. My mom's garden, which I started tending again. The smell of her favorite tea. The sound of silence where Tiffany's constant demands used to be. One day, I found an old letter my mom had written me when I left for college. "Don't waste your love on someone who treats it like currency. The right person won't ask you to pay for their happiness. They'll build it with you." I read that line until the paper blurred. Months later, I got a text from Tiffany. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize what I had until I lost it." I typed back a single line. "You didn't lose it. You threw it away." Then I blocked her number. Outside, the wind rustled through my mother's garden, scattering rose petals across the soil. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel broken. Just free.